and this is supposed to be full of good banter, humor, and steam, and I basically want all of that. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing great, and today I want to talk to you about the list that I made of 24 books that I want to read in 2024. And the only reason I did this is to hold me accountable at the end of this year of 2024. I really want to read these books, and these are a mix between new releases and more importantly, books that I already own. I have book series that I already own and I didn't read yet, and I really want to make a goal of mine this year to read more of my physical TBR books that I already have on my shelves, that I already bought and that I'm excited for, to be honest, but I just want to make it a priority now. And I also have another goal for 2024, and that is to read at least one book that I have received in a monthly book box each month. And also, as you've seen previously in my Fairy Trove haul, I have purchased a lot of books from the last Fairy Trove restock, and I really want to start reading them. So yeah, each month I will be adding one book from that haul, from the Fairy Trove restock, to be a part of the monthly TBR. And with that being said, you will see a lot of books in this list that are from my own collection, but also some new releases and some sequels that I'm very excited to pick up. And yeah, let's start with the first book. The first book that I really want to get to this year, that I heard glowing reviews about, is, let me pick it up, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. This is a book that I got when I was purchasing special editions from the Fairy Trove restock. It's a YA fantasy. In this book we follow Mina, and deadly storms have ravaged her homeland for generations. Her people believe that the sea god who has once been their protector is now cursing them with death and despair. So in an attempt to appease him, each year a beautiful maiden is thrown into the sea to serve as the sea god's bride, in the hopes that one day the true bride will be chosen and end the suffering. And many believe that Chim, the most beautiful girl in the village, but also she's the beloved girl of Mina's brother, they believe that she might be the legendary true bride. But on the night she is to be sacrificed, June, Mina's brother, follows her to the sea, even knowing that to interfere is a death sentence. And in an attempt to save her brother, Mina throws herself into the water instead, and she finds the sea god caught in an enchanted sleep. So she sets out to wake him and bring an end to the killer storms once and for all. People who read this book said that it's brimming with love, and the story is so epic and lyrical and beautifully told, and that's why this is on my list. The next book is actually a book series. It is the Vampire Academy. I have these beautiful editions from Fairy Loot that I really want to read. It's a YA paranormal urban fantasy romance, and it is very popular, and I basically want to be a part of the fandom. And I heard that it's not only about the romance, there's also mystery, and there is like a lot of adventure and strong friendships. And yeah, I'm excited to pick these up very soon, hopefully. Next up, another series that I purchased from Fairy Loot, Theas of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. I already put this book on my January TBR, and I'm going to read it 100% just to kickstart the new year by hitting some of my goals. And in this book we follow Princess Leia, and as a first daughter she was supposed to have the gift of sight, but she doesn't, and that's why her parents decide to marry her off to a prince she never met from a neighboring kingdom to secure an alliance. And on the morning of her wedding, Leia flees to a distant village, and an assassin was sent to track her and kill her, but also the angry prince that she refused to get married to is also trying to track her down, and the story develops from there. And I hope I love it, so I continue with the rest of the books. And the next book is also a trilogy that I bought from Fairy Loot, and I heard great things about it, and I really want to read it. The Bone Shard Daughter Trilogy. I believe this is called the Drowning Empire series or trilogy. It's an adult fantasy with multiple POVs. It has gods, it has necromancy and android elements, and cute companion creatures. I think they are illustrated here. Yeah, look how cute. And people who read the book said that the magic system is intricate and unique, and I'm so intrigued by that. I think that each POV has their own thing going until all of them converge somehow together, and I love that a lot because it reminds me of the Shades of Magic series, and a lot of people who read this said that it's a true page turner, and I really want to read it too. And next up, I want to read Do Your Worst. This is an enemies to lovers adult contemporary romance, and we follow Riley, who is hired to break the curse of a haunted Scottish castle, where she meets Clark, who is an archaeologist and also a very pragmatic man. He doesn't believe in anything that can't be proven by science and facts, so he tries to get her fired. And this is supposed to be full of good banter, humor, and steam, and I basically want all of that. I have been trying for the last couple of months to read this book, but I just want to read it now. That's why it is on this list. I really want to get to this one. Next up is a book that I have multiple copies of, and I was so excited when we got a release date for it. It's Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. It's her debut adult fantasy in a new world, and I really wanted to read it when it came out, but it didn't happen, and I want to read it and see if I'm attracted to this world and these characters. So now I am bound to read it by this list. Next up is a companion series that I really want to get to. You will hear the sentence 100 times in this video, but I truly do. I genuinely do. It is the Entangled with Fae series by Sonia Odette. And as you can see, I have bought all the special editions that she released, and I really want to get to them because I keep hearing the greatest things about them, and I really want to be a part of the fandom. This is book 1, and every book in the series is a fairy tale retelling, and this is the retelling of Beauty and the Beast, where we have a beastly fae king with a deadly curse. I heard that it was a delight to read, and I really want to start reading these beauties. I mean, all of them are so pretty, so gorgeous, and I really want to read all of them this year, hopefully. Next up is a very popular series that I didn't read yet, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I didn't read these books yet. I have 4 of them, and I also pre-ordered the next book, the 5th book. I know that I will fall in love with these books. That's why I bought all of them. But I need to catch up with the whole series before hopefully before the release of the 5th book. I know it's going to be an epic ride. I love mysteries and puzzles, and this series specifically got compared a lot to Knives Out, and I love that movie a lot. So I'm 100% sure that I will be enjoying these, and it is happening this year. Next up, I want to read the new release House of Flame and Shadow, the Crescent City Book 3 by Sarah J. Maas. By the time I'm filming this video, I already reread House of Earth and Blood, and it was a joy, it was a bliss, heartbreaking bliss, but bliss nonetheless. So yeah, I'm so excited to pick up the next book in the Crescent City world. I don't know if I will have the time to reread House of Sky and Breath, but if I do, I will 100% pick that book up. Next up is an author that I bought a lot of books from, but I didn't read any of them. It is Casey L. Bond. I already added Grave Brier to my January TBR, so I'm 100% going to read this one. In this book, we follow a witch who have been accused by her coven of killing her best friend, and she ends up teaming up with the person who is also a witch who has been sent to kill her to prove her innocence. So yeah, I will be reading this one in January, but I also want to get to Where Oceans Burn and Where Skies Fall. This is a duology. I heard glowing reviews about these books, but I also heard that they are heartbreaking, so I'm kind of scared of that. It is a YA fantasy romance, and we have born enemies to lovers, we have secrets and betrayals, and there is also the found family trope that I adore, and a very fascinating layered story that I can't wait to dive into. So these are a priority for me this year. I also have her other duology, House of Eclipses and House of Wolves, that I also really want to get to this year. I mean, her books are not that long, long. I really do hope I get to read all of them in 2024. Next up, I want to read Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. The sequel is coming out pretty soon and I really want to read this book. It's an adult dark fantasy and I heard only glowing reviews about it, and I already pre-ordered the Waterstones edition, exclusive edition of the Empire of the Damned, and I heard that this is dark and visceral and very, very suspenseful and keeps you at the edge of your seat. So I really want to read it before the release of the second book, hopefully. So yeah, I had to put this on my list. Also, a book that I mentioned a lot that I'm going to reread because I want to reread it before the sequel. It is Lark, and it's a goal of mine to read both of them this year. In this book, we have every century, the 6 rulers of 6 realms are invited to this island, Lark, where they fight to death to try to lift the curse that plagued them a long time ago. And each realm's curse is unique, and each ruler has something to hide. And to destroy the curses, one ruler must die. So we follow Isla, who is the young ruler of the Wildling realm, cursed to kill anyone who fall in love with them. So they are feared and despised, and they are counting on Isla to end their curse. And of course, there is an enemies to lovers in the story. It was very fast-paced and very, very entertaining, and it was just a real page turner, and it ended on a cliffhanger, the worst cliffhanger. So I'm very, very excited to pick up Nightbane next. Once I reread this, I need to reread it, okay? Next up is a sequel to a book that I loved, Divine Rivals. I'm also going to read this 100%. It ended also like Lark on the worst cliffhanger ever, and I need to get to this as soon as possible. I also want to read the sequel to Spice Road. I have it here. This book we received last year in a fairy loot box. It's one of the prettiest editions we received. The title for the sequel was revealed recently. It's called Serpent Sea. We don't have an exact date, but the author announced that it's probably going to release in fall 2024. It's a YA Middle Eastern inspired fantasy. The magic system in here is so unique. I loved it and loved the world building and the monsters, the creatures, and the adventures that the characters went on. I really enjoyed this book so much, and I'm impatiently waiting for book 2, but I am probably going to give this a reread first. I enjoyed it so much the first time, so I don't mind rereading it again and kind of refresh the story in my mind. So yeah, I'm so excited for this one. This book and Divine Rivals and Bonesmith, these are the books that kept me from switching to the adult only box, to be honest. I really love these books so much. I know that people sometimes when they sign up for the waitlist, they are wondering what book to choose. Do I choose YA? Do I choose adult? But sometimes their YA picks are so on point, are so good that you will regret that you missed out on that book. That's why I'm keeping the combo. Even if I'm switching to have separate book boxes, adult only and YA only, I don't want to get the combo anymore, but I'm on the waitlist for that. So I can skip and have more skips. I can have more control on my skips that way. But I'm still going to get both books, YA and adult, because I don't want to regret not having that subscription anymore. So yeah, that was all to say this was a very good book. Next up, a sequel. This is one of the most anticipated releases for me in 2024. All This Twisted Glory is the sequel to These Infinite Threads. This is the second book in This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. If you've watched my top books of 2023, you already know what I feel about these books. I love them wholeheartedly. With my whole heart, I love these books so much. It's clashing empires, forbidden romance, and a long-forgotten queen, and definitely going to reread These Infinite Threads before diving into the sequel. And the author mentioned that All This Twisted Glory is the third book, but not the final book in the series. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a quartet or more, but maybe we will get more books, who knows. But I'm definitely going to read them all. I love these characters so much. And that was it for me today. This is the list of the 24 books that I really want to get to in 2024. Hopefully this will hold me accountable to read all of these and just to stick to my goals in general. If you made it this far, leave me the pink heart emoji and tell me about your 2024 reading goal. Tell me if you have books that you really want to read. You have decided 100% I'm going to pick that book up. It's time to read that book this year. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe so we can become book besties, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!